One of the biggest challenges for relationships with me was standing up for myself. I couldn't bear the thought of risking not being liked because I became so good at people pleasing. I became a chameleon and would accommodate to other people's needs, to my partner's needs at that time. And so the idea of me standing up for myself was in complete conflict. It was a total risk that I couldn't bear to try because I was afraid that I might be unlikable, that I might be rejected. I'm going to take you back to when this was one of the most challenging things in relationships for me and one of the biggest discoveries for me with the very first time I got relationship coaching. Flashback to my first engagement. Yes, I've been engaged more than once to more than one person, not at the same time. And so flashback to my first engagement, I was in the early stages of the relationship with this person, and we were together for maybe about 3 months. And we were doing semi-long distance, about 2 hours away from each other. And I remember I was driving to see her, and I was so excited. I was listening to my favorite music. I know I was singing songs about what was being played. Just couldn't wait to knock on that door, give her a hug and a kiss when I saw her. And so I pull into her driveway, knock on the door with a big grin on my face, and she opens the door and she's not happy. She's got kind of like a stressed out look on her face. She said, hey, come inside. Oh my God, my dad, he's pissing me off. I'm so overwhelmed. And I was like, oh, okay. Not quite the greeting I was looking for. But I just started talking to her. Oh, what's going on? It's like, oh, my dad, he's pissing me off. He's bothering me. Come in. And I was disappointed. I was really disappointed. But I let go of that and she's dealing with something. So no problem. Fair enough. I'm trying to be supportive, right? Seems like a good thing. And then later that night, we're doing the dishes together after dinner. And I'd say to her, it kind of bugged me that when you answered the door, you weren't really present with me. We didn't get to hug and kiss. Everything was kind of rushed, and that bugged me. That kind of stuff, means a lot to me to have those moments together, especially since I drove such a long way. And she said, oh yeah, don't worry about that. I was just in a rush. And in that moment, I wanted to stand up harder for myself. But I said, yeah, okay, I get that. And we just moved on. Now, of course, you guys, we're humans of habit, creatures of habit. And so things like that would happen more. Those moments would get missed. And I would feel hurt and upset. But I developed a pattern of pushing that hurt down. Now, I would push it down so much that eventually it would start to overflow. And it would come out as resentment. And before you know it, we get into an argument about, groceries or something just totally mundane. And all of this resentment would come out. I would say things like, you don't care about me, you don't think about me and my challenges, and you don't care if I'm hurt but it's all about you. And we just get in these fights. And it would be so intense because we weren't fighting about what was actually happening. We were fighting about every time I felt overlooked. But here's the thing, I didn't stand up for myself because I was so scared. I was so scared that if I did, I would push her away or she'd leave. And so this is at the source for a lot of people not standing up for themselves. This fear of abandonment, this fear of rejection. Now fast forward to getting coaching, all the work I've done on myself. I became a relationship coach simply because I got so much from coaching myself. And I want to coach as many people as possible to be able to get what they want, to get out of their own way. Most of the time, that's what it is. And so in this coaching, I actually discovered this because I didn't even know that was a significant moment for me. I didn't even realize it. And so a huge part of coaching is discovering our blind spots, the things that we don't even know that we don't even know. And so when I discovered that, I was like, wow, I haven't just done that with her. I've done that with so many people in my life. I have over-accommodated for others and pretended that things don't bother me out of fear that they won't like me. And then have it come out later, way worse. And I've seen this so much in the people I work with. Now fast forward to today, or not quite today, but fast forward to me dating my now wife. Okay? Now, the example I just gave you, in coaching, we call that stepping over your own integrity. Your integrity is what works for you, what doesn't work for you. It's what works. In that moment, I stepped over what doesn't work for me. In every relationship that doesn't work, there's a moment, and I mean literally a moment, where we have integrity, and then all of a sudden we step over that integrity. We give up on ourselves. We give up on what matters to us, thus creating what doesn't matter to us, what we don't want. And so fast forward to me dating my wife. We're maybe on our 5th or 6th date, and we're out for lunch somewhere, and I go to pay the bill, and it bothered me that she didn't offer to pay the bill. I didn't like that. Now, I still was happy to pay, but I kind of wanted her to offer. And so when she didn't offer, I said something. Now, I was so scared to say something. It was like flashback to that moment of not standing up for myself about a hug and a kiss at the door. So I flashed back to that moment, and I thought about, man, if I step over this for myself, I'm going to create the same relationship dynamic I had with my former fiance. And this is doomed. This is not going to work. So here's the moment of truth. Here's where I'm either going to stand up for myself, or I'm going to shrink and just repeat the same old shit. Count down till our next breakup, count down till our next fight. So I said to her, kind of jokingly, I noticed you haven't offered to pay. Is that kind of how it's going to be? Or you lost your wallet? What's going on? She's like, oh yeah, I don't pay for dates. My wife's Russian, and it's common in her culture that women don't pay for dates. And I was like, oh, I'm Canadian. And I was like, Canadian women pay for dates. She's like, okay. Now, at the time, I was struggling financially. I was not making much money. I was, trying to figure out how things were going to go. And so in that nervousness, that I had to be responsible for my financial situation. So I said to her, and this is where I was really scared, because I'm going to push her away here. I said, I like you a lot. I really like spending time with you. It doesn't work for me to pay for these dinners so much and all these dates. And so for our next dates, I'd like to just go for walks and, maybe buy a cup of coffee and that kind of thing. And she looked at me, and I interpreted this as disappointed, maybe even disgusted. And right there, I was like sick. I was like, oh my God, this is the end. That's it. Okay. It was a nice run, nice few weeks together. That's it. But I had to stand my ground. I was like, dude, if you don't stand your ground, this is going to get ugly. It's just a pattern. It's going to repeat itself. So I stood my ground. I paid the bill. And I got up to leave, kind of fully expecting her to never want to see me again. And then she came up to me, and she put her arm around me at the door, and she said, how about I buy drinks at the next place? And I had this huge grin on my face. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And we went out that night, and she paid for the drinks, and I was just like, wow, I can stand up for myself, and we can be a team. We can actually go through conflict together. This was such a green flag. It was such a beautiful surprise that, oh my gosh, I can share something and we can find a way through it together, which is exactly what I'm trying to promote with everything that I do in relationship coaching. Conflict isn't the end. It's how do we be a team? But so many of us are scared to be a team. Look at how easily I could have not been a team there. Look at how easily I could have shrunk down, thus causing her to shrink down. And before you know it, we're just two people hiding who we really are. And so we went out that night. And then later, a couple of dates later, I find out also she is in a very challenging financial situation. And it's not so much about women not paying for dates for her. It's more so that she's scared that she can't be with someone who's reliable. A lot of us talk, a lot of male-female bullshit that's out there, all this gender-blaming stuff. A lot of people say it's about money. It's not about money. We're just scared that we can't rely on each other. That our partner's not going to take care of us. They're not going to look out for us. Fast forward to today, we've been married for almost 2 years now, and my wife gets to be a stay-at-home mom. And we love it. I love that for her. I was always scared of that in the past because I thought, oh my God, someone's going to take me for my money or use me or something like that. I'm so proud to get to be the provider for our family. She's so proud to get to have the time with our son and our time together and like our family dynamic. We love it. We love it so much. But it took overcoming so many fears in the process. You know, for both of us, there's risks all over the place that we had to take in order to create the kind of life we have today. And so I'm sharing this with you now because you don't need more knowledge. You don't need another book or another podcast on relationships. If you want a breakthrough in your relationships, in yourself, then it's going to take exploring the ways that we sell out on ourselves. Exploring the ways that we betray our own intuition. I truly believe that it's our natural ability to connect and love. But we just got some shit in the way. We've been through some shit. We've been knocked down. We've been hurt. And now we're walking around being run by fear, trying to protect ourselves. That's not where love is created. That's not where connection is created. So we need to be awakened to this natural ability that we all already have. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You just have some stuff. You're trying to I like to put it this way. You're trying to paint a pretty picture on a pile of shit. It doesn't work. I'm not saying your life's a pile of shit. I'm saying we have baggage we're walking around. And then we're trying to just make life with all that baggage. We got to drop the baggage first. And then this new space emerges. When I was able to actually stand up for myself and my partner, she was able to take a stand. And suddenly we came together. Like my heart swelled up when that happened. And again, you guys, it's not about money. There's like plug and play your example, whatever it is for you, how you want to be touched, the kinds of support you're looking for, how you communicate. There are bridges to be made all over the place. But so often we're looking for someone else to create the bridge. They should walk across first. They should do this. They should take a risk. If only my ex didn't do that. It's not going to work, you guys. It's going to keep us where we've been. And then we're just going to switch people and have the same challenges. Or worse, we're going to get cynical and resigned and take ourselves out of the game completely. So many people think relationship coaching is all about you and someone else. That's a huge part of it. But the real relationship coaching work is the relationship to ourselves. For me, I didn't have the self-worth and self-confidence to stand up for myself. Notice that's all about me. It wasn't even about my former partner. And so when we transform a relationship to ourselves and we're able to take on who we really are with confidence, with security, all our other relationships transform too. So if you're curious about coaching, if you want to take on this kind of personal development, my Love Over Fear program is made for exactly this. My coaching has basically been my life experience combined with me investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into my growth, retreats, seminars, coaches, groups, one-on-ones. Combine those exercises with my personal life experience. That's my Love Over Fear program. Now, if you're curious about it, there's 3 different ways people can participate. All can be found on my website. Our next group program is happening May 14th. So that'll be the last day to sign up for that is May 12th. If you look through my website and you got questions, send me a DM. Happy to clarify things for you. There's so much love out there and available for us if we're willing to get out of our own way. We got to be willing. It's a willingness. It's not a lack of knowledge. Okay? It's not like I got to know more. I got to try harder. It's not that. It's often something that we're scared of and the courage that's missing. So be my privilege to support you with that. And it's my privilege to share this with you now. Now I'm just going to see if let's just hop off here. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. And thank you for committing yourself to growth for whatever way you're doing that. You know, if you're listening to this, it tells me that you're someone who wants to make a difference in your relationships, wants to make a difference for yourself. And I encourage you to take that next step. Commit yourself to a structure that works and you'll get to make it easy and have things move in the way you want them to move, even faster than you thought. My favorite thing that I'm like, I have a coach right now. I'll never stop having coaching, because to me, I look at it like, how good can life get? And that's a lifetime journey. That's like, I didn't know it could be that good. I didn't know that was available for me. And that to me is just worth our time. It's worth our life. So thank you for listening. Talk to you guys later.